Meteorologist at Environment Canada, Geoff Coulson. Geoff, good morning to you. What a title. If I could measure the dread in centimeters right now across southern Ontario, it would be much higher than 40 centimeters, I think. What is your message to people across Ontario, Quebec, and Atlantic Canada who are bracing for this storm? What can we expect?
Well, certainly your lead up said it all. I mean, this is a big storm system. It's a significant storm system, packing lots of snow for many parts of southern, eastern Ontario, moving into Quebec, eventually getting into Atlantic Canada as well. Other concerns in some areas, especially the north shore of Lake Erie, along the St. Lawrence in Ontario, parts of southern Quebec and parts of the southern Maritimes as well, could be looking at a mixture of ice pellets, freezing rain, and maybe even rain in some areas as the system moves through. So it's massive in scope and also has the potential to have quite significant impacts as it rolls through.
So what's the timeline? When is this going to start and when will it end?
So as you hinted, it looks like starting this afternoon in southwestern Ontario, the timing moves eastward from there, hitting the Toronto area around late afternoon in time for the rush hour home this evening. Also important to note that for some areas in the southern part of the Greater Toronto Area, Milton, Mississauga, down into Burlington and Hamilton, they're already getting some flurry activity well ahead of the storm system in off-lake snow from east winds off Lake Ontario. So even before the system's arriving in some parts of the province, we're already getting flurry activity.
So how can we prepare for this storm, Geoff?
Well, I think the best advice really is to stay on top of the latest statements coming from Environment Canada. We've been fine-tuning them for the last couple of days as its potential for significant impacts has become known. The statements will continue to be updated over the course of the next number of hours, not only in Ontario, but in Quebec and Atlantic Canada, as we get a better sense of the storm track and the storm timing. Certainly, there's going to be a lot of impacts on the roadways from this messy mix of precipitation or just snow in some areas. So again, staying on top of the weather and avoiding unnecessary travel if you can. Okay,
with all due respect to meteorologists, there are a lot of people who are hoping you're wrong. There's some room for error here, Geoff. Is that a possibility? Could there be lesser amounts? Could the temperature climb and it will be more of a rain event? What do you think?
Well, certainly for some areas near the lower Great Lakes, near Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, snow amounts could be impacted by how much freezing rain or rain that those areas get. But further north, away from the lower Great Lakes, as we get up into places like Barrie and through into the Ottawa area, it looks like it will stay cold enough to be just a snow event. And this is a system that we've been watching for the last number of days. The track has varied slightly, but many different weather models have agreed on the track that it's going to be taking now over the next couple of days. So certainly it does look like a significant event for many parts of Ontario, Quebec, and Atlantic Canada.
All right. Sounds like there's no escaping it. Geoff Coulson, thank you so much. Good to have you with us today.